Okay, welcome back, everyone. I believe I've given enough time for every other person to join back on the call. I got disconnected. Okay, PME is already here, and the other person. So if you can hear me and you can also see my screen, you're also online. Please just identify, say hi. I was saying something with regards to critical paths. I was giving an overview of what we did yesterday um, before I got kicked out. So I had network interruption. Then I was explaining areas schedule can be used, and you can also use P6 for all these areas. Um, so in contractor billing also, the schedule is also being used in this. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen so that you can see how P6 is being used in getting the critical parts um, in a project. So let me open my P6. And, okay, while I am opening my P6, while I'm doing that, there are a few other things I would love to share. Okay. This is taking time to open. I don't know why. Hmm, I need to show you guys this before we continue. Okay, I believe you all can see my screen this way. Okay, I'm sharing a schedule of project, and this is a construction project. So from here, you can see internal finishing works. We have brickwork to hand over. You can see when this project is starting. This is the plan start, and this is the plan finish. And the first activity we have here is the brick wall. We have lintel. We have electrical conduiting. We have internal. We have internal plastering. We have plumbing works. We have waterproofing. We have um, putty works, we have tile works, we have doors and windows, we have internal painting, we have railing, we have electrical wiring and switches and sanitary fittings. Then from here also you can see the start date. So this is starting the brick work is starting on the 1st. Lintel is starting on the 16th. Um, and I think for this, the earliest start of this project is 1st of 12, 20, that's December, 1st of December 2023. There is no other date. There is no earlier date than this. And if we also check here, the earliest date here is 1st of December 2023. Then the next earliest date is 16th before we have 22. Then we have 31st, we have 18. So this 40 works, which is 5th of February 2024. So this is just this plan start. We have the plan finish. Then you also have the duration. Brick wall is going to take 15 days, lintel 6, 18, and all of that. So we also have finishing the up until we have this project ended on the 12th of February, March, April, May of May 2024. Okay, these the printed document you can give out for maybe your clients to see how you are going to execute the project from the start up until the finish. So this is what we can now review. We can say, okay, this brick wall, if we want to do, I talked about crashing and fast tracking. So I can say, okay, this brick wall, can't we reduce it to um to 12 days? Maybe there's some we are trying to beat time. We didn't start this project at when due. So from this now, from our schedule, we will know, excuse me, pardon me for that. We will know which project that we can we can adjust to, you know, to make sure that we finish the project in due time. I want to give an illustration with my P6, but it's just taking too long to open. Okay. Mm. So if you have a question, I would like you to ask before before I continue. In the comment section now to see if there are questions for me. No question at this point in time. Okay. So I believe everyone basically understood what I'm saying. So the reason I'm sharing this slide is for two things. I want to show you guys critical parts. Oh, my P6 is going up. Why? Okay. Still looking. Okay. Oh, P6 is coming up. Let me just share my screen and we'll look at something different. Okay, so I believe you can see you can see my screen. So this is our Gantt chart, which represents how our project is going to move from start up till finish. The activities here you are seeing on the red bars, these are our critical activities. And like I said, critical activity are those activities that if there is a delay in any of this activity, maybe weld up and conductor pipe, centric reducer, if there is a delay in this, it is going to definitely affect when our diagonal and horizontal bracing pipes is going to start. So as a project planner, what I'm going to do is that I would make sure that whatever the people on ground is doing, see all these projects, um, these activities that are red, I make sure that nothing touches them. We work with schedule, make sure everything is working the way it's supposed to be. So from here, you can create the activity. I think, let me use another project. Just give me this one project. So I believe you all can see my screen. Okay, so with this, we have the column for original duration, which is each of these um, each of this activity, how long is it going to take? This first one is design, building, addition, which the duration here is 55. And this project I open um, is a precept, like it's with Primavera P6. So if, for those of you that have installed P6, you have all these projects here are listed. You can find them in yours. So what I just opened is, I think is City Center Office Building addition. Yeah. So for those of you that have P6, you can follow along. Okay, so the first one is design building addition, and the duration was 55 days. The next one, we have review of technical data and heat pumps. Review and approve designs is going to take 22 days. And also from here, we have the design percentage complete of all these activities. So for design and engineering, we have 100% complete for all those activities there. I believe you all can see my screen very well. Then we also have the start date. This project, the earliest start is 1st of November. And 1st of November, if we calculate the duration, 55 days, it's ended 19th of January the next year. So with that, we can also look at the free floats and all of that. Then we also have the foundation. Then we have site preparation, 43 days. Concrete foundation walls is going to take 22 days, and all of that. So why we have done all this, there are activities that are critical to this drawing. And one of those activities is rough incomplete. Then we also have fabrication and delivery of pumps and control. It's one critical activity in this drawing. Then we also have review of bids for pump. We have award of contract for pump. So all these are, we also have set pump. So all these activities here are critical activities, and we need to make sure that while this project is being executed, they are being monitored and followed in due time. You need to be proactive, because if you are not proactive, award of contract for heat pump is going to be delayed. And yes, if the award for contract for heat pump is delayed, definitely a part of your project has been delayed automatically. So with P6, you can actually see these critical activities. We can also use the filter tool here and filter some of these, look for critical activity, apply, then can print it out. Okay, just yeah, critical activity. You can also check filter for longest parts of this. Okay. I'm not saying anything at this moment. I just want to get some some things fixed before I continue. So this is 2011 up until 2013, May 2011 and December 2013. December 2013. Okay, so this was what I was trying to set. I just used the filter option to filter my activities and make sure that what I am seeing are just my critical activity. So with this now, I can further, I'll definitely print this out. I'm assuming this is a real life project. So as a project planner, one of the things I'm going to do is to print this out and make sure that I and my team work with this, know when these activities are starting. This is a Gantt chart. So this is basically our Gantt chart. This is how it looks like. Um I removed some activities just to get only my Gantt chart. I can also include more activities, more detail here, like my activity table, apply it. So I can see my activity table now and its corresponding um, Gantt chart, what's happening. So for this is it here, it's a milestone and it is directly connected to clinch lists, which is this. So if there is a delay in our first activity, there's definitely going to be delay in this activity. So all the activities here are critical. They are all related. A delay in one activity with delay critical part is necessary. And as a project planner, this is one thing that is asked for in job description. Do you know how to create a master schedule? Do you know how to import or combine the client's schedule? And so there are a lot of things: schedule, critical parts, EVM, end value management system, reporting, because that's basically what you are doing as a project planner. And like I said, a good planner is a good scheduler, but a good scheduler is not a good planner because um, scheduling is what you use P6 in doing, but planning is has a lot to do outside just P6. It's just like someone who knows how to use Prota Structure. You know how to use Prota Structure software. You learned the software, but you are not taught the engineering behind the design and simulation of engineering buildings. You just know that there's this kind of footing. You know that there's this other kind of footing, but you don't know why. Maybe there's rough footing, this other footing. You don't know why these footings are there and when it needs to be applied. So that's basically what differentiates a scheduler and a planner. The planner plans the project, gets everything ready, and gives it to the scheduler to develop a schedule um, on that. But it's the project planner that monitors and controls the project. Yes, okay. Someone asks, all these activities are we, or I think, are we the one to impute them? Yeah, yeah. Okay, you're looking at how the number of activities that are here. Yes, sometimes creating a schedule takes time. It can take you 1 month. It can take you 1 week. No, not, yeah, 1 month probably. It can take you 1 week. It can take you days. So for this, you can see you have a lot of schedule here. It's let me go back to group sort of filter. Apply. Okay, so all these activities, you are the one to create them yourself individually, and we are going to do, a practice on that also. Probably we are going to start that, but to dive into it more tomorrow. Is there any other question? Okay, I believe there's none for now. So before we start going into P6, which we will be doing in a few minutes time, we need to know some key things like what a WBS is, what a project is, what EPS is, what are activities, what is your OBS, organizational breakdown structure. So these are the things we will be looking into now. I needed you to see how things have been done in P6. This is a full project, but due based on reporting. You understand? What I just did now was previously rather was form of reporting. Let's assume you are my PM, project manager, and I'm like, okay, PM, sir, these are critical activities. So we need to secure this and this. This purchase of pump or procurement of pump. Pump is our heater or heat pump is supposed to arrive Lagos State by Friday or by next week Monday, sir. Have we spoken with the OEM? Have we done this? Have we okay? This what we need to do to make sure that this pump arrives before, because what you really need to do is to make sure that your critical activity, everything happens before the start date, sir. So if it's procurement and it's supposed to that heat pump is supposed to be in this on site on Monday, please do every possible thing to make sure it's there by Friday, Saturday or Sunday, not that Monday itself, or even a week before, 2 weeks before. So with this now, we'll make sure that maybe we can delegate some tasks to some other person. Make sure you follow up this and it is available at so time, maybe 1 week before it is even needed. It's on ground. Apart from equipment that you know that they are on lease, they are there per day. So for those kind of equipment, you make sure that it is on ground a day before that time, maybe make a commitment fee to whoever you are purchasing, hiring it from. Something like that, because a delay in those activities, you won't keep maybe your medicine man on ground or an engineer a whole day, then you tell him he should go back to his house that people didn't work. Yes. So a delay will definitely delay your entire project. You are going to waste money and resources. So this is for you. I can also filter down to completed projects. So when you are carrying out how should I when you're carrying out reporting, maybe it's weekly reporting you're having with your clients, you can filter for um, completed projects. So for now, you can see these are the projects that are completed. And this is what you use for your progress report meeting. Okay, we have completed design building, we have reviewed technical documents. If there are challenges, you also put that in your report. We asked for this, it wasn't available. We are 3 days behind schedule. Um, we have mobilized our personnel. We have gone for site preparation. We have done this, we have done that, and so forth, so on and so forth. So while also carrying out your project report, this you also need your schedule to show your clients what is happening. So I believe all this explanation is we are all understanding. So if you are a student, yeah, I just remember that students are on this call. Please, if you're a student and you are not understanding what I'm saying, maybe I'm using too much field, I'm just assuming you understand. Please, I would like you to draw my attention, and also as an engineer or someone who is involved in this, and probably there's something maybe you have used P6 before and you need to get clarity on one or two areas, you can also draw my attention to that. Okay. At this point in time, I'll move back to my slide. Okay, Gantt charts. I've showed you what a Gantt chart is. Mind the right slide. Okay, so there are different Primavera P6 solution. We have enterprise projects, um, portfolio management. What we are using is P6 professional projects management. That's what we have P6 for analytics, we have P6 for project portfolio management, we have contract management, we have risk analysis, we have SAP, we have end value management system. So, but for end value management system, we normally use Excel for that. But there's also a software, a P6 version or Primavera version for that. So, okay, so what can Primavera, what does Primavera enable you to do? Primavera enable you to plan, schedule, control from the simplest to the most complex projects, allocate best resources and track progress, visualize and communicate project performance, which basically I just showed you critical, you know, using the Gantt charts, filtered some activities, showed you the critical activities, showed you the activity that has been activities that has completed, and we could also go further and look at activities that are in progress, activities that have not started. You know, maybe an activity was supposed to start a week before, and your client is looking at his own project, his own schedule, and he's like, okay, contractor, can I see the activities that have not started? Why haven't this started. It was supposed to start so and so time. But this is where query comes into play. So then you start explaining this is what happened, this is what happened. We had issues with this and that and all of that. So you can also conduct what if analysis and analyze alternative project plans to increase speed and efficiency, which I said in cases you can now fast track projects or crash projects. Evaluate risks, identify issues, and determine their impact on projects. Um, so if there's crisis like maybe a worker died, force of major, whatever, you can analyze that. Okay, as how have it impacted our project, and it can also be a positive impact. Probably you were buying cement for 18,000 per bag, and somehow price decreased to 7,000 per bag. That's that's something that has definitely affected your project in a positive way. You understand? So you're also going to evaluate that. Okay, this occurrence. What are we going to do now? Okay, the next um next in line, enable project collaboration. So everyone on the project team has the detailed necessary contribution to the project success. Okay, we are going to look at organizational breakdown structure and enterprise project structure, work breakdown structure. OBS, which is simply the short form or acronym. OBS is a structure of people of an organization. OBS is used to organize and manage people of an organization for better communication and administrative purpose. For every project, there is always a project organogram or company organogram. That's basically the organizational. For every project, there's always an organogram. So we have this, we have the CEO. This is an example. We have the CEO, director one. This is supposed to be director two. Under director one, we have people that reports to him. We have project manager one, we have project manager two. And we have project manager one, we have two persons under um, the first project manager. We have the construction manager and senior planning manager. Then under the second project manager, we have just one construction manager. Now, this plays a role when there are different projects going on, in um, when different projects are ongoing in a company. So we have different project managers handling different projects, and we have the reporting system and hierarchy. Who reports to who? So that's basically what the organizational breakdown structure is. And we also have our EPS, which means enterprise project structure. It is used to organize projects of an organization. It is also used to control projects, access to projects. And it can be used in referencing the location, nature of projects and budgets. So we have this diagram, and so let's assume we have a project going on in River State. We also have another one going on in Lagos State. Now, under River State, we have the construction project, we have building construction, we have road construction, we have IT projects, web design. So with our EPS, we can effectively carry out these projects and build them under each category. And I'm going to use P6 in giving you an illustration on that. Okay. So the same thing for Lagos State projects. We have construction projects, we have software development, we have road construction. So before I go further to WBS, I'm going to share my P6 screen so that you understand how this works. Mm. Okay, now I said something about EPS, which is um, enterprise project structure. And I said it organizes how projects are being done with regards to different locations. So you can see this. We have E&C, engineering and construction. We have energy service. We have manufacturing. We have product development. We have corporate programs and all of that. So under engineering, all the projects we are handling under engineering and construction is going to fall under this. So under engineering and construction, we can now say we have city center office building. We have next bit building expansion and all of that. Under energy, we have a lot of them. Refuel outage, we have routine maintenance work, and another example. So if you have P6, if you have installed P6, all these things are there. I'm using these ones to explain what we have. Then under manufacturing, we have plant expansion and modernization. So if your company does different projects, you guys are doing one pipeline project in Lagos, people are doing another one in Abeokuta, you can categorize those projects based on their location or their category. So for this now, it's been categorized based on its category. E and C, engineering and construction. So everything that has to do with engineering and construction is there. So if your company usually works offshore, you can say, okay, onshore and offshore activities. Create one for onshore activity. So instead of E and C is here, what you are going to have is onshore activity. Then you have the list of projects you are working, your company is working on onshore or offshore, stuff like that. Then we also have OBS, the organizational breakdown structure, which is what I want to open now, or what I've opened now. Chapter 1. So for this, we have Lob 1. I don't know what this is. And we have E and C, which is engineering and construction. We also have manufacturing. So this is how the organizational chart of this the organizational chart of this company is. You can also specify yours if you want. All you just need to do is to click on add and you continue the whole process and add your own organizational breakdown structure for your unique projects you are creating. I'm just trying to give a summary for easy understanding of it. Probably, luckily, if there is going to be a paid class, that's if we come to an agreement with APWEN, we are going to communicate that to the group. But for now, there is no future concerning that. But if there's any change in for a subsidized class, so that persons can learn these softwares, we're also going to pass that information across, because normally what the fee for learning P6 is 120,000 for 3 weeks for scheduling and project planning. So if APWEN wants to partner with us and say, okay, can you run it at this fee, and that we are going to let you guys know in the WhatsApp group. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so one other important area we are going to look at is the work breakdown structure. Now, the work breakdown structure involves decomposing of major project deliverables into smaller, more manageable components until the deliverables are defined in sufficient details to support the development of project activities. An example of this is construction projects. It can be divided with respect to the nature of the work, e.g., board works, structural works, architectural works, mechanical engineering and plumbing, etc. Foundation, and all of that. And we have an example of a WBS here. So the project is to construct a 2-story building, and under that, we need to have preliminary works, the construction and closing of the project. We can still further define what our preliminary works are. Maybe clearing, site visitation, whatever. They're under construction where the project is going on. We have the foundation. That's the first thing we need to do. So if we have 4 activities here, let's assume these are activities: foundation, ground floor, first floor, and probably second floor. Yeah, this is supposed to be second floor. Second floor. And these activities are linked. So we have these 4 activities here. Our foundation is our critical activity. So it means a delay in our foundation is going to delay every other project here. Then under earthworks, we have under foundation rather, we have earthworks, we have structural works. You can still further define it. They are civil engineering. So under foundation, we can now put excavation, we can put backfilling, put all those flinch, whatever, a detailed activity under foundation. You understand? Then we have ground floor too, the same thing, all those detailed activity. We have the first floor, we have the second floor. So this is how a WBS works, work breakdown structure. This 2-story building we have now, this is why I said it's part of what you send as bid, because this is basically what you are going to tell your client. Okay, this is how we are going to do your project. So and so, from this time to this time, this is what we are going to work on. This is how long it's going to take us to finish our foundation. This is how long it's going to take us to finish ground floor, first floor, and second floor. Then roofing and all of that. So what's the importance of WBS? But I believe is everyone are you understanding what I'm saying? Or I'm too fast? Please, I need feedback at this point before I continue. Can anyone hear me? So it seems like no one is on this call anymore because I'm not getting any feedback from the participants. So it seems like I'm going to end today's class. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the importance of WBS, which you can see on the screen. And one of the importance is to plan scope. So one of the importance of WBS is to plan the scope, um, the time, resources, and also cost of the project. It is used to organize the activities of a project. It is used in viewing combined data activities. This means you can summarize your data at WBS level. You can also um, control access of a particular project. Okay, OPME said is so many things are happening to at the same time in the project. Really sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to I'm going to streamline the back and forth. I'll just reduce that. Thanks for the feedback. Okay, okay. We talked about some this. We touched this a little bit yesterday and today. So an effective project schedule is key to project success, and these are some of the documents you are going to need: a project charter, project management plan, contract agreement, tender documents. So information required to develop a project schedule, we need the start and end dates, which we'll get in the project charter, project breakdown structure, which our SME, subject matter expert, has given to us. So for instance, I'm going to also use this. So if we are building this, our subject matter expert has told us that we are going to start from foundation, move to ground floor, first floor, second floor. You get. And Madam Opeyemi will agree with me that during foundation, there are things that needs to be done. It doesn't change. So as long as the structural engineer has carried out the soil test and we know the soil condition of the land, we don't really need to do much. It is the same everywhere. Apart from the fact that we are building in a swampy area, that's why we now need to do some extra things. But when you are building a house in a good land, that the soil is okay. I'm not a civil engineer, so I don't really know how to use those civil engineering words. So the subject matter experts will definitely tell us how this project is going to go from the start point to the end point. This is where the work breakdown structure comes into play. So this here, he's going to tell us, okay, you guys, for this, how many plots of land is that? Say 5 plots, okay. It might take you like so amount of time to clear it. To going to give you a range of the duration for preliminary works, construction. Then he's going to look at the building plan, the architectural plan. Okay, we are going to, with this, they know how to do their calculation, how long it's going to take for excavation, earthworks, and all of that. You move to the next, the ground floor, um, up until the end. So this is where the work breakdown structure comes into play. And this is also the planning phase. Project start and finish date is initiation phase. Work breakdown structure, you are now planning. Then we have the project activities and estimated duration still in the planning phase. Predecessor and successor activities, planned costs of resources. All these are things you are going to give your scheduler. So this is the reason I said there's a difference between a scheduler and a planner. So after we have, someone asked a question also in the chat box. After we have done all this, we are going to come up with the activity and the project. We are going to come up with the activity. Don't worry, tomorrow we would use P6 in creating an activity. I dropped something in the group chat that if you have a real project you can send, we'll use it as a case study. Nobody answered. Although we're more interactive like the way it was the first class, which due to that, everyone understood. So tomorrow we are going to work on this simple construction project. And this is it, right? Construction of a story building. This is what we are going to do on Friday. So if you have any construction project at all that you want us to work on, you can bring it so that we can do back and forth, look at how the whole activity is going to run, then make sure I have everything on my system before we start what we would do on Friday. So this is what we are going to be working on: a story building, preliminary works, construction, closing. And I might not really work on this. I might now look for some other thing that is engaging or easier for us to work with. So I don't know. Okay, let me check the comment section. Does anyone have any question? or we could work on this project, whichever one. So, okay, should we use, okay, this project is called Villa Fin Schedule. Should we use only something? Should we use this Villa Fin Schedule or we should use our construction project? Now, I'm going to know how many persons that are online. Which of them should we use? Should we use this in carrying out our example, or we should use the previous one, which I shared this in creating our schedule? So pick your preferred choice. I think the both of them are construction project though. Yeah, the both of them are construction. Okay, someone said construction project. The two, okay, construction of a two-story building. Okay. Someone said construction of a two-story building. So if there is no other person to oppose, we'll go with construction of two-story building. And anyone is okay. Okay. The attendance is coming. Just few minutes. I'm going to drop the attendance. Okay, I've dropped the attendance in the chat box. So please um, fill the attendance appropriately, and the course code for today's class. The course code for today's class is construction. Construction course code. Okay, thank you all for participating in today's class. Yeah, this is the first time you all are, using P6. It's looking strange, but I promise you, when we start using it tomorrow, you would understand the in and out of P6. Thank you all once again. Have a good night rest. We will see on Friday, 8:30 p.m.